graders at Elk Rapids Cherryland Middle School. This is Mr. Macaluso, your Individuals and Societies teacher this year. I'm going to be going through the syllabus for my class, and so just have you watch this, follow along, and any questions, make sure that you ask them in class as we go here. But you can see here at the top you've got my contact information, and it's also going to be at the bottom. This first paragraph here, IB classroom. You can see the bolded words are going to be the emphasized aspects of my class: critical thinking, investigating, communicating, how well you know and understand. This should be changed. That shouldn't be U.S. history. That's better. Early world history. Class being student-centered, meaning you're in charge of your learning. I'm here to help guide you. We're going to be learning things based on big concepts, not as much facts and dates. And you're going to need to use appropriate tools like group work, investigative skills that you will be taught in order to be successful. Your grades. It's a big thing at Cherryland Middle School, the way in which we do grading as we've begun to change into more of an IB model. You can click on this link, which will take you to our little pamphlet about grading. But I'll give you the basics. Your formative work in my class is worth 20% of your overall grade. It's because it's practice, so therefore it's not worth a lot. You can see the assignments that you do complete. You get 1 of 3 scores on them. I'm going to give you a 0 out of 10 if the work isn't done on time or done with minimal or limited achievement. I'll give you a 7 out of 10 if your work is limited to good general understanding but falls short of the full requirements. And as long as you've met the full requirements, you get a 10 on the assignment, or you exceed them. So you can see here, although there are points here, it's more of a standards-based system of grading. You don't do it or don't turn it in, 0. You do it, but you don't meet the requirements, 7. You meet the requirements, you have a 10. Once you've had the grade on it, the assignment is over. You can redo it if you feel like it would be valuable to your learning, but you do not get a different grade. Summative assessments are the big thing, game days. These are tests and performance tasks, perhaps a project, 80% of your overall grade. And things that you can redo in terms of summative assessments will be denoted. I'll tell you, but they'll also be noted. We're doing this year with an asterisk, this little thing right here, and Edmodo or Power School, so there shouldn't be any confusion for you. As we continue to develop and become an IB class, you'll note that there are things called criterion, which you may not understand, but basically think of it as the word criteria, or the framework by which I will assess your learning. So there are 4 things in individuals and societies that you are assessed on. You're assessed on how well you know and understand, how well you investigate, how well you communicate, and how well you think critically. So for the semester, each semester you'll get a grade on those of 0 through 8. As long as I have enough evidence, that means we've assessed it, I will give you a grade on it. It's not an average, so if you do 3-4 assessments on knowing and understanding, I don't average them together. I take a look at what is the most consistent and recent performance. So as you grow and get better, it's how you do in the end that will determine your grade on that. You'll also get a traditional grade in the class based on these kind of points here and based on points off an assessment. But the IEB grade, to me, is really what's important, how well you do these things. My course content is early world history this year. You might think of it as ancient history, but it's going to be called early world history. You can see here we start from early man all the way up through the first civilizations of Mesopotamia, Egypt, and China. And we're not going to do the Incans, Aztecs, and Mayans this year because you did them in 6th grade. But ancient Rome, before that, the Middle Ages, and so on. And world religions is the last thing we do. You're taking an online course, not what you'd think is being an online course, but you are taking an online course in the sense that you can access my course anytime, anywhere through Edmodo, this link right here. And you'll be able to, and you know how to log in on that. Log in on that, you'll see what we did that day and any assignments that were assigned. Supplies that you need to bring: fully charged iPad is the most important thing, other than yourself, of course. A pencil or a pen, your dedicated ancient world history folder, and then change that to early, but you want to have a folder specifically and only for my class. An optional textbook if we actually pass them out, and your homework. Absences is really simple. If you're absent, you have as many days as you were absent to make up your work. And of course, don't come ask me, hey, I was absent. What do I do today? You're going to check Edmodo. Walk up to me, Mr. Mack, I've been gone for 2 days. I've checked Edmodo. I can see I've missed this. I've talked to my friends. Here's what they told me. Am I on the right track? That is a conversation I will have with you. I will not have a conversation with you that just says, I was absent, what'd I miss? Or even worse, you're absent and you don't even do any of that. You don't look at Edmodo, you don't talk to me. After the days are gone, the assignment can't be made up. Again, homework, not worth a lot, so it's totally up to you. If you don't make it up, though, that is a demerit. Your classroom rules, I've always had these same 3 right here, and you guys can go ahead and read those. Everyone, including the teachers, treated with respect. Put-downs and hurtful comments aren't tolerated, and no one's allowed to disrupt the learning process of anyone. Very simple. Those sort of things would earn a demerit if you don't follow them. What happens if I don't follow the rules? Some things happen. You get a warning. I more specifically tell you to stop what you're doing. You're going to receive a demerit, or simply you've chosen to receive a demerit. So we kind of have a 3 strikes and you're out system. Here's some things that I love a little bit about me. I love my family. There they are. Emma's a 5th grader. Zoe's a 3rd grader this year at Lakeland. I love Michigan football. Go Blue. That's my alma mater. I love volleyball, coaching and playing it. I coach right now this season in the fall, and I play in the winter and the spring. I love technology. Obviously, you can see this video being done with technology. I love these guys, if anyone knows who they are by chance. And I love to travel. Here are some countries I've been to recently. Can you figure out what they are by the flag and the shape? And communication, most important thing I would say. Verbal is really the best if you were to talk to me. But if you want to reach me electronically, you could tweet me. Most people don't do that, but you could. You could iMessage me if you have an iPhone or your own home iPad at this email address. And those would get to my phone too right away, so I would be able to get back to you quickly if you use those. If you have something longer and less urgent, certainly email me is fantastic. Next, I know a lot of other teachers do this as well. I started this a couple years ago. It used to be called Remind 101, now it's just Remind. But you have to, it is required that all students, and hopefully parents, sign up for Remind 101. Mr. Mack, I don't have a phone. It doesn't matter. If you click on this link, it will take you to a site where you can either sign up via email or text message. I highly recommend text message if you have a text messaging service and a phone. The other option is to download the Remind app, and you will get the messages via the app. But make sure, of course, that it's on an alert so it comes up on your phone and you'll be able to see them. What do I send on these? Reminders about homework, tips, maybe websites, things of that nature. I expect that you, if you're not using the text part of it, that you check your email at least every 24 hours to get any messages I might send. I do, of course, still send email, but I find students simply don't check email that often. So texting, I find, is best. You won't know my phone number, and I won't know yours if you use Remind. Classroom procedures, we're going to do in-class activity on this, so I am going to have and suggest that you read, you're going to need to read all of these so you know some procedures of how my class works. And with that, finally, you have the contact and connection information. This is for parents to look at and read. Phone number, Twitter, iMessage, and email, like I mentioned. My conference period, or the time in which I don't teach a class. Mom and Dad are going, oh, actually you're going to put your name here and your hour here that you have me. You are going to sign this and date it, saying you understand the information, you're going to honor the classroom rules, and you know that only you can choose your behavior. I can't, and Mom and Dad can't. And parents, your child has discussed it with you, and you understand and support it, and I've signed it saying I will be fair and consistent in administering the rules of my classroom. And this will get back to me simply as an indication that we all understand my syllabus and my procedures for the class. Not a grade at all, but if you don't turn it in, you would get a demerit. So we don't want to start the year off that way, so make sure it comes in. With that, I'm going to keep this under 10 minutes. Thanks a lot, guys. Go Elks. Have a great 2014-15.